What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my Ultimate Fighter, Team UK versus Team US finale review video. My apologies for not having a video up on this. I just had a crazy weekend, a lot of stuff going on. This card really had some lackluster judging, and I'll kind of get into that as we talk about the card. It seems like Melvin Guillard snuck away with a win, Brad Blackburn, but nonetheless, for a free event on Spike, I mean, it was a decent card, a decent night of fights. So I'll go ahead and work my way from the bottom of the main card all the way to the top like I normally do. First fight of the night, Joe Stevenson taking on Nate Diaz. Stevenson was able to do what I think is the game plan that you want to use against Nate Diaz. And, you know, some of the deficiencies he's shown in the past, which is clinch with him, put the pressure on him. If you can get him to his back, put him on his back, stay out of subs. For Joe Stevenson, don't give up your back. That's where he's most vulnerable. He was able to do that successfully throughout this fight. You know, Nate Diaz did have some good combinations on the feet. He had good 1-2 combinations, some good leg kicks. But, you know, Stevenson overwhelmed him, was able to get him in the clinch, able to get him down, kept using that beautiful sweep takedown where he kind of rolled Diaz onto his back and then he got into his guard. And Stevenson goes on to win a unanimous decision. Like I said, Diaz has had serious problems with guys that, you know, use the clinch, guys that put the pressure on him, guys that are able to take him down. You know, Manny Gambirian did it up into the point that his shoulder popped out. Guida did it, and now you've seen Joe Stevenson do it. So hopefully Diaz will come back, learn from his mistakes in this fight. He's a talented fighter. I do like watching him fight, and we'll have to see how it plays out from there. All right, next fight, Ross Pearson taking on Andre Winter. This was one where the fight just took place a lot in the clinch. Both guys, you know, jockeying for position. The first round away from the clinch, Winter had the better of the combinations on the feet. Second and third, Pearson had the better of the combinations. Really more so in the third, where he was really pouring it on. Really was surprised that the judges gave this a unanimous decision to Pearson. And the only reason I say that is I can't believe that one of the judges didn't give it to Winter with as much as Winter controlled position for the most part in the second and most of the first. So really some weird judging, you know, in this on this card, but nonetheless, Pearson goes on to win a unanimous decision, 29-28, which is the right score for him to win, but I still think that it was closer than a unanimous decision. So nonetheless, Ross Pearson is the tough lightweight winner. All right, next fight, Chris Lytle taking on Kevin Burns. Burns, you know, had the better of the combinations in the first round, looked really good. Started to gas a little bit and fade in the second and the later part of the third. Which is where Lytle poured it on. Lytle ends up, you know, getting the better of the combinations in the second. Better of the combinations in the third actually opens up a cut over Burns' left eye. In the first round, though, Burns really rocked Lytle bad with an uppercut. Lytle's legs gave out. He kind of dropped backwards, and Burns tried to move in for the kill. Couldn't do anything with it. But, you know, Lytle just was more aggressive in the second and the third. You know, had the better of the combinations, even though he was just wailing his punches, which is what he's been doing as of late. But nonetheless, Chris Lytle wins a unanimous decision, and congratulations to him. For Kevin Burns, I think he'll be back. He'll learn from this. Each time he fights, he gets better, so I think he'll definitely be back. All right, next fight, DeMarcus Johnson taking on James Wilkes for the welterweight finale. DeMarcus Johnson just came out with a horrible game plan in this fight. I don't know what he was thinking as far as trying to come in and, you know, throw the lazy leg kick, and then the lazy jab, and then an overhand right. You know, Wilkes just came forward on him, you know, put him in the clinch. 1-2 combinations, knees, nasty knees, ended up getting a takedown. Johnson rolled him over, ended up getting put into a triangle. He got out of that, and then, you know, ends up getting caught in an omoplata. He gets out of that, and then Wilkes is able to finally get his back, sink in the rear naked choke after working for position on it and win the fight. You know, James Wilkes came out more hungry. I think that, you know, style-wise and matchup-wise, these guys both matched up well on paper. You know, Johnson has an excellent guard. He showed that on the show. Wilkes, you know, really good in the clinch, had good wrestling, has a good submission game, and, you know, I think he came out more hungry in this fight. I think it could have been a more compelling fight than this, but nonetheless, congratulations to James Wilkes. He definitely deserved to win this after the show he put on in this fight. Just a demoralizing beatdown of DeMarcus Johnson in one round, and that's exactly what happened. So congratulations to him. He goes on to win via submission by rear naked choke, and he is the welterweight Ultimate Fighter winner. All right, next fight, the main event: Diego Sanchez taking on Clay Guida. Wow, what a compelling fight! What an interesting fight. This was probably the most entertaining fight of the night, and lived up to its potential. The first round, Diego just absolutely ate up Clay Guida. Combinations from the beginning of the round to the end. Even though Clay Guida got a takedown and was working inside a guard, he really didn't do anything offensively. He didn't try to pass guard. He didn't do anything from inside guard with any damage. I scored the first round at 10-8 just by what Diego did in that round. Just overwhelmed him, and Clay did nothing back offensively to try to counter what Diego was doing. The second round, Guido ends up winning. He had I think a couple good combinations on the feet, had the takedown, and was working inside a guard, had the good clinch work. The third round, a really, really close round. I think that Diego, though, ends up winning it based upon the fact that he had the good combinations on the feet. Even though he got taken down, he was working for sub attempts. He had a Kimura attempt. He tried to look for an armbar as the round ended. Even though Guido was working inside a guard, and he had a couple good spots inside of Sanchez's guard where he's working some ground and pound. But nonetheless, a close third round. I gave it to Sanchez. Honestly, the fight could have been scored a draw if it would have went that way. But two of the judges saw it for Sanchez like I did in the third round and the first round with the 10-8. And the score should have been the way that I scored it, 29-27. One of the judges had that as well. And Diego Sanchez ends up winning a split decision. It was a close fight. The scores were 29-28 Guida, 29-27 Sanchez, and 29-28 Sanchez. So Sanchez wins a split decision. Close fight. Very entertaining fight. If you didn't get a chance to see this fight, make sure you go watch it. It was a very compelling fight. That was my review of the Ultimate Fighter Team UK versus Team US finale. Leave some comments, constructive, negative, positive. Make sure you check out my sponsors on the description side. And as always, tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Justin TV /MMA XL Radio. I'll put the link up over here. Myself and Carson will be doing MMA XL Radio once again. Make sure you tune in live, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we break down this card. We talk about some upcoming MMA news and stuff that's going on in MMA right now. So on that note, you guys have a great day.